Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with James Mason. Good morning, James. How are you doing today?
Todd, good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well also. It's a kind of a slow morning in the market this morning. There's a few runners early on, but nothing crushing right now.
And not only does the market feel slow for me, but kind of I don't know, life in general. Like I look outside, it's gloomy, it's kind of drizzling. It just feels like one of those slow, just dreary days.
Kind of one of those days you build a fire, grab a book, grab your one-piece snuggly. No. All right.
But yesterday, talking about fire, Todd. Yesterday,
woo,
man,
it was a warm one, wasn't it?
Ooh, I'd say more than warm. I mean, the afterburners were wide open. What was that ticker? Oh, if you guys are tuning in, and chances are you probably are just now hearing about this ticker. It is EVTL.
EVTL.
Man. All right, let's look at it. All right, so EVTL, we alerted this one on March 29th, I believe. So right in here, alerted it, break above 750, stop 622. And the reason why I alerted it was because, well, some of the data that we have on the StockCast social network that we'll be releasing, at least releasing the beta version sometime in the third quarter of this year. And in order, if you don't know about it yet, in order to be able to get on this platform, you will need an NFT, which will grant you the utility access to be able to use it. So anyways, this data that we have and how we're using it, let us know about EVTL and their extreme borrow rates. Like they were consistent with having borrow rates of over 500%, which basically what that means is it's expensive for the bears to come in and hold short positions, especially with options, either shares or with options. It doesn't matter. It's expensive to keep shorting it. Well, you can see how it was holding up. And I did expect it to go lower. I honestly expected to go down here and test the lower $6 range. It didn't. I mean, really it was a waiting game for me because I had enough time on those contracts. And the contracts I bought were for 70 cents each, which obviously if you understand options, that would be $70 per contract. In the end, I sold it and roughly made around 230%. We have some members who made over 550%. I mean, because this bad boy ran. Broke out yesterday from 741, hit a high of 1195, and TTBB, man, we raked in cash on this beast. But let's look at it on the 5-minute chart. Holy hot tamale. Look at this thing. I sold somewhere right here. I started seeing that pullback and I was like, man, I'm cashing in. So I took my 200 and some odd 30%, and 15 minutes later, well, that's when the others took twice as much more. So beautiful play. I wish we could nail these every day, but unfortunately, I don't know the future. So we take them as they come and trade them how we see them. And you always have to be ready to take profits, guys. Like, we say this so many times, and I just can't wrap my mind around it. Like, literally, we'll have people in the comments like laughing about the stuff we say about members. And this ain't me picking on our subscribers or even our followers, both paying and non-paying people. This is just traders in general. But the same people who will be laughing at the stuff we say about these people not taking profits, they'll go from major winners to then taking true losses. They're the ones doing it. And I don't get it. Like, why would you not take your 500% profits? What are you waiting for? I hear it all the time. I get messages all the time about later on, like, what's the plan with this? I don't know. I got out with 200 some odd percent in profit.
Yesterday in our Twitter feed, you had just in the tweet that you explained that you're out completely, and I'm not trying to pick on the person, but it's a good educational moment here. Literally asked, is it still good time to get in? If we just announced, or James just announced, that we just exited for a 200-300% win, we're not looking to get back in at that moment. And if you're like, oh man, I just missed it, I'm bummed or whatever, that's okay. We've only delivered winners every week, all year long. Like there'll be another one later today or tomorrow. I promise you. It's just don't get caught in the FOMO and get yourself trapped in that situation.
Exactly. And guys, like you have to be willing to accept making money. Isn't that the reason why you're trading, is to make money? So why not make money? Do y'all not like money? That's what I think about every time when I always get a message from a trader who asks me, what should I do? What's going on? Well, I can't tell you what you should do because I can't give you financial advice. I legally can't give you financial advice. And, I'm not saying that you should copy what I do, because your trades are on you in the end. But think about it. Like, you can't really come and ask me if it's a good time to jump back in or to enter, this trade when I just left it. Like, I left it because I felt like it was at its peak. When you have a run, it breaks out like this. Look at that. And this was a sharp pullback. That's why I decided to cut it. And I don't hold any regrets with that. I made 230% anyways, but this right here is usually a good indication that a strong pullback is coming. And, it didn't right then. It squeezed up more and before it unloaded. So, yeah, guys, like you have to be willing to make money in order to make money. I know that sounds so freaking simple, but I wish there was a way that I can measure this amongst retail traders. You guys, if there was a way to present data to actually visually show you how many traders who will end up with their portfolios having extreme amounts of potential gains, and then those potential gains turn into extreme losses, you guys would just be mind blown. There's so many of you who have the potential and have been in multiple setups to where, had you just decided to take profits in all those moments when you really should have, you would have 6-7 figure accounts. And I don't get it, and
James, I also think it's a good time to just mention that when in the Twitter feed, Twitter alerts, we give a selling range or a target price. Your risk tolerance as an individual trader, as an individual investor, is absolutely different than mine and James and everyone else that's listening to this broadcast right now. You have to assess your selling zone for your risk tolerance, because if you're willing to, there's been many times that we've shared a trade that I've taken a small win because I wanted to book it, and James said nope, my target was a little bit higher and it didn't get there, and he took a loss. And it literally was just like, I was happy having a $300 win and he was looking to hit for something more, or vice versa. Or I might only take 100 shares, he might take 500 shares. Or you have to measure your risk tolerance as a trader and say, how do I grow my account? How do I better my family? And what's my selling price? We can't figure that out for you. We can just give you a range based on support and resistance. But at the end of the day, you get to click the button and decide.
Absolutely. So as for EVTL, like, I'm done with that bad boy. I'm moving on. I made a killer trade there, and I'm going to put it out of my mind. Don't have to think about it anymore. It's all about moving on to the next one. I don't personally, my little happy phase of rocking out a great trade is very short lived because I have to focus on the next trade. I mean, this is what I do for a living. I have to focus on the next trade for myself. So I can't be sitting there, basking in glory over, we'll just say a victory. I can't be basking in glory over a victory when I know there's another battle ahead, and that battle could be the one, that destroys me. So I always have to be thinking ahead. Always have to be thinking about what I'm okay with, taking the loss on. And that's how I trade. I always think about how much can I lose here, and if I'm okay with losing here. That's really how I approach trading is, when I enter a trade, if I'm just like, okay, I am completely okay with taking a $4,000 loss here. And if that happens, then okay. Now I'm not okay with like taking a $4,000 loss to only make a $500 win. I mean, if I get back green and I realize, yeah, it's not going to go the way I want it to, I'll cut it for that small win and break even. And I don't consider that a win at all because it's not. But what I'm saying is, if I'm willing to take, like, based on my position size, it really comes down to position size for me. If I'm willing to take like a 4,000 loss on something, and I don't go by the stupid ratios that retail traders do because that shit's just dumb. Like, retail traders come up with a lot of bullshit, and that's Wall Street don't even do that shit. Not that Wall Street is any better because they just have copious amounts of money and they can sling shit around. But
turn the press on. We need some more.
Yeah. But if I'm willing to take like a $4,000 loss on something, it's either A, because I feel like this is going to probably yield me, $12,000 to $20,000, just hypothetically speaking. And I'm okay with that because I can eat that $4,000 loss. And I know in my mind, I've already had this planned out. I can move on from this trade afterwards and go find that next one. And, in hopes of recouping that $4,000 loss. But if I'm trading with, let's say, a smaller position size, I will widen my stop loss ranges in target ranges because I have less risk and I can let it have more time to run. So that's how I trade. But yeah, guys, like, I mean, I hate to just keep like bringing this up, but like it's serious, like it's serious, guys.
We only bring it up because after every successful trade, we'd literally hear from members asking the same questions over and over. So, I mean, I know there's people in our broadcast that aren't asking these questions, but it's really an educational, I guess, sharing some information. We literally have people after every successful trade saying, are we still in? We still good?
Yep. I mean, literally, like, it will rocket from the shit ranges when everybody's bashing it, saying, "Oh, that's a piece of shit stock. That ain't gonna make no money." Blah 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 blah, and it will rocket up, and people will have just phenomenal gains, and they won't lock any of it in, and it's like they get paralyzed, and I'm just like, why?
And honestly, it saddens us. We had so many conversations where the words come out of our mouth, or like, man, it saddens us because we want to see you grow your accounts. We want to see you be successful.
Mm-hmm. And then, if you want me to get real with y'all, I can't tell you how many of those people who, we're talking about, they'll let those massive profits go to where it eventually destroys their account, and then they blame it all on us. Just being honest. And it's just like, and we ain't gonna sit there and argue with them on the internet, but like, we see the comments, we talk to so many people and we see their situation, and it's just like, man, you had so many opportunities. Like, you should not have a red P&L right now. And then people just don't want to accept responsibility. But anyways, that's enough about EVTL. Wasted too much time on that. Todd, let's what was the other thing we want to talk about?
Turtle Beach.
Yeah. All right. So what was the news on that?
So Turtle Beach, one of the former CEO announced today that the Turtle Beach board is rejecting Dunrail's group's financing package, saying they don't find it credible, and that the price that they've offered at $36.50 is not high enough. Oh, that excites me.
Yeah,
that means they're negotiating. That means they're negotiating.
Oh yeah.
But in the short term, right now it took a little dip. Let me just pull up here real quick and look at it.
You want me to share my chart?
Yeah, go ahead. It's trading at it's weird. It's got 1975. Let's say it's at right now. So if people aren't in, or if they're looking to scale in, I might take a look. I'm going to take a look at it today. I might add a few shares to my current position.
Like, I'm not even bothering to scale in. I have 1,200 shares, and my average is 21.39, and I don't even care. And the reason why I don't is because the situation that has now evolved with Turtle Beach, Bank of America, and Donrail is just how like Donrail came out slinging shit at Turtle Beach and the leadership. This is now Turtle Beach and Bank of America slinging shit at Donrail, saying that they don't have the financing. And that's the name of the game. Like this is, it's a flex for power and control. But the situation becomes that either Donrail needs to come up with a lot more money to buy this out, which is better for the shareholder. If let's see, Donrail started out with like an offer of like $36.50 or some shit like that, and then they bumped it down to like $32.50. And even at $36.50, Turtle Beach was like, no way, it needs to be higher.
Well, here's the other piece of this puzzle. Like, just to be clear here about the pricing, is that Turtle Beach can't afford to let their stock drop down to $15 a share.
No,
because guess what they'll do? They'll scrap the buyout offer and just start buying shares at a better price.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll be in a real tight grip.
Yeah. If Turtle Beach had the financing, I'm not Turtle Beach, Donrail had the financing to offer $32.50 a share to buy this out. If they get this to drop lower, that means they can buy the company out for a heck of a lot cheaper, and they still win. And that's where Bank of America and Turtle Beach is really shitting their pants right now, which is also why they're now coming out, in my opinion, to sling shit at Donrail, saying that they don't have the financing. It's all about psychops and just capitalizing on those opportunities to acquire cheap ass shares. And in my opinion, I think there's going to be a day when both sides just start to realize, okay, we've found our little channel to where this is going to stay in, and now we're to the point to where we feel like we have a large grip on this company by owning so many shares, and they're going to really start just buying up shit left and right. And as an investor, I don't give a shit which side wins. I just care about making money and me winning.
Hey, we're about just less than 9 minutes to the market. You want to hit the comments real quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
So a couple I'm going to highlight here. Karen asked about when you're talking about borrow rates. Is short interest the same as borrow rates?
So no, not really. Short interest and bar rates are their own thing. So short interest is really just the amount of shares that are actually short in that stock. The rates are how much it costs to actually, short that stock or hold that position short. So that's the difference right there.
All right. Is the borrow rate like like in a simple term, like a locate fee? Or
no, it's just the rate.
It's an actual interest rate on a loan because I'm on margin.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Hold on, there's a comment right here. Aaron Sparks, Terminal says it no longer. Let's see, it will no longer pursue a buyout. Do they have another buyer? it's all games, my man. Like Donrail is not battling out of this race. Like I can't speak for them, but they didn't put up this whole fight right here to now say, yeah, we decided not to. They're probably just gonna start trying to buy shares left and right. And I don't care. Like keep buying them shares up. It's all about supply and demand in the end. They keep buying their shares up. Bank of America is gonna know. I mean, they have access to data that we can't even see at all. You can go through like a proxy, or we can't, but they can go through like proxy solicitors and see who actually owns shares and how many. And with all these firms, they can see what moves people are trying to make, and especially since this one is out in the open, they can. Well, they'll just have to counter them. I mean, the only way out of this for both sides is whoever buys the most and holds the control in the end. That's the only way. And Turtle Beach leadership can't let their stock get crushed because investors have real money in there. And who do you think is going to vote for in this annual shareholder meeting? The shareholders are not going to vote for the Turtle Beach leadership that's currently in charge. No way. All right. So let's see. Brad had a question. All right. VERU bought at 10.01, profitable now. Thoughts on squeeze? In my opinion, I mean, with the way it pulled back yesterday, there was a lot of bears who had jumped on it. I wasn't expecting it to pull back like that. I did take a loss on that one. I decided to let it stop out and not chase it anymore. And I think this just might be a little sympathy bounce. And in the days to come, we'll probably, in my opinion, I think we'll probably see that ticker VERU probably under 9, probably in the 8s or 7s somewhere. I think it does have long-term potential. I mean, it has that drug that they released for COVID, and COVID's going to be here. They'll keep giving COVID shots out for forever, but a 55% survival rate increase, yeah, that definitely holds value right there.
I think Veru could have a bounce today. And this is just a high risk speculation. It's going to be on my radar today. If it can break 1250, I think it's going to be a strong short candidate for me. Because I think if it's going to bounce, it's going to have a spike. And then I think I agree with you, James. It's going to be under 10. So if we get something where it does something stupid, and 12 plus to 13 in that range, I will take probably a short position.
Yeah, long term, I do think it has great potential. I'm just talking about it like in the short term, really in context of like today. So really, the rest of the week on it will determine everything. And if it rocks out this week, then whatever. So, all right, Todd, that's all I have for today. Do you have anything else?
I'm good. We're about 4.5 minutes. Have a good day trading. Be smart. Be safe. Be careful. We will see you the next time around.
All right, everybody. Catch y'all later.